From a Japanese thread, check out these reactions to Let's Q about brush painting Gunpla. People say it's the easiest for beginners, but it's actually the hardest trap, right?
Is this really the only option if you live in an apartment complex?
Looking for a rental space could work too.
Water-based paint gets rid of the smell.
Gundam markers are probably easier and more convenient to use. As others mentioned, renting a space for it is a solid idea.
My local hobby shop shut down the painting booth because too many newbies left their stuff behind. It was the only place to use an airbrush.
That's too bad. I've heard similar stories, but good communities usually handle gatherings well.
Even in apartment complexes or close-knit neighborhoods, brush painting might be banned in places like dorms, shared houses, or even single-family homes, depending on the family situation. If there are kids, pets, sick family members, or anyone sensitive to smells and dirt, you might face restrictions or bans, even if you handle things well every day.
Spray cans can be pricey, but they do help cut down on noise a bit.
Get the Gundam marker airbrush. It's a game changer, way easier to use than brush painting. You can airbrush for 30 minutes today, and since Gundam markers are alcohol-based, there's no smell. You can paint on the balcony with your kids. Alcohol-based paints dry quickly. Plus, using different markers lets you mix colors easily. The downside is you can't use colors outside the MS sets, like skin tones. But you can grab other alcohol-based markers from Krios to fill that gap.
Just paint however you want. Overthinking is what makes it hard.
The difficulty varies based on the quality you want.
It's key to paint the shield's cross without going outside the lines.
It really depends on whether you need to cover big areas, brush paint or airbrush.
Brush painting can be tricky, especially with colors like white and yellow.
I want to give it a shot, but I just can't bring myself to do it.
Newbies should start with a 300 yen kit.
Water-based paints make it super easy to start partial painting.
If you've got an airbrush, there's no need to struggle with a paintbrush.
If you don't mind the details, Gundam markers work great.
But there aren't many colors to choose from.
Using it would be way easier if the tip was a brush.
It's super easy to get started.
The gear is affordable and super accessible.
With partial painting, you can push your limits without stressing over uneven spots.
Dust is a bigger enemy than brush strokes when painting.
Setting up a sealed drying booth keeps dust out.
Just cleaning the room or the plastic surface is good enough.
With cats, it feels like dust just materializes out of nowhere.
Let your brush painting dry before adding layers.
If the bottom paint comes off, you can always layer it with a different solvent.
You can put acrylic over lacquer, but not the other way around.
Drying takes a bit, but the new models look awesome right out of the box.
Brush painting really highlights your skill.
Military-style painting has character thanks to the brush strokes.
It's tough, but that's what makes getting better fun.
I love brush painting and intentionally work on old kits.
Sengokuden was great for practicing brush painting.
It was tougher to paint the fine details with a brush, so I switched to an airbrush.
Airbrush upkeep is a pain, so I just go with brush painting.
Basic Gunpla painting is all about applying bright colors evenly without any streaks.
Brush painting isn't really about getting even coverage, right?
Brush painting is cost-effective and allows for a lot of expression, so it's great.
If you don't screw the brush cap on right, it becomes a beam jut.
If there are no rental spaces, painting at home is my only option.
The great thing about brush painting is that it's super easy for beginners to jump in.
Partial painting is budget-friendly and super easy to test out.
Fine details are easier with a brush, but they're surprisingly tricky.
I always mask to get those clean color edges.
You really need to practice to get brush painting just right.
A lot of people switch to airbrushes to avoid brush strokes.
I think Citadel and Vallejo paints have great colors for brush painting.
The basics of brush painting are all about layering after it dries.
Accretion is super easy to use since you can just thin it with water.
A lot of people have a hard time without a proper painting booth.
Isn't just thinking about it and enjoying it the best?
Nailing those fine details feels super rewarding.
Even newbies can jump into partial painting and feel great about it.
The kind of paint really affects how easy it is to use.
Brush painting has this cool charm because of the character it adds.
Ultimately, any painting style is good as long as you have fun with it.
You should really try to master both airbrush and brush painting. I switched to brush painting because airbrush upkeep is a hassle.
If you don't love painting, it's hard to make it a hobby.
The great thing about brush painting is you can dive in as soon as you have your tools.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe for more. See you in the next one.